Buffalo State College. This is All Talk Monday, WBNY's public affairs programming that airs Monday mornings till midnight. The views expressed in all the various All Talk Monday shows are not necessarily those of WBNY, the United Students Government at Buffalo State, or Buffalo State itself. Due to the opinionated nature of these programs, listener discretion is highly advised. If you have any questions or comments about All Talk Monday, you can direct them to WBNY's All Talk Monday, 1300 Elmwood Avenue, Buffalo, New York, 14222. For more information, check out our website at wbny.buffalostate.edu. Or you may give us a call at the station at 716-878-5104 and take part in all the various All Talk Monday shows.
.3 FM, WBNY, Buffalo's original alternative since 1982. Vantage Point, Patchy, Jessica.
Hi.
Because you know what it is. 3 o'clock. Starting a little late because that's what we do. It's summertime. We're lazy. We're tired. We're exhausted. We have a lot of things going on. Stuff like that. But we have guests, Squeaky Will in the house.
Woo! Woo!
That was very unenergetic.
Woo!
There we go. Much better.
Fantastic.
It's a wild and crazy roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Yes, Squeaky Wheel joining us, Tina Dillman and Jax, to talk all Squeaky Wheel events and commotions and excitement. So, what do you guys have going on? Well, in the next couple of days or the rest of the month, or what are you here to promote?
Well, we got a lot going on, but first, maybe let's talk a little bit about what Squeaky Wheel does first, just to get people up to date. How about that?
Yeah, that works. Up-to-date things.
So Squeaky Wheel, we're a film and media arts center. We're located in downtown Buffalo. We've been around for 30 years.
Woo!
Yeah, woo! So a lot of the events that we'll be talking about are centered around our 30th anniversary shindig, our summer lineup of events. And so what we do at Squeaky Wheel is we have 3 different core activities of programming. One is equipment access. So if you are a student who are looking for cameras, projections, outdoor screens, if you want to do a outdoor film screening behind your dorm, we have all that equipment. We have a PA system. We have DSLR cameras, microphones, anything you need for a full video production. So we have those for rent at very, very affordable prices.
The lowest around.
Yeah. And another component that we have is education, and we have workshops for adults and youth, and those are for anybody of any skill level. We have everything from beginner-based workshops to advanced. Then we have a lot of master classes with visiting artists who come in from out of town. We have one coming up actually in the middle of August that we'll talk about. That would be really fun. And we also have exhibition programs, and we'll talk a lot about those. And we have visiting artists and local artists coming in and doing programming in our gallery, in our storefront gallery, and in places throughout Buffalo. So there's a lot going on and ways for you guys to get involved.
Yeah, and if you are a student or an artist, we have a really low rate of $30 for a 1-year membership, which allows you discounts on all of our equipment and our classes, which is a really great deal. And all of our screenings are free if you're members. Yeah, it's an unbeatable price.
It's a deal. And a lot of the stuff that we show in our cinema that we have inside of our new facilities in the Market Arcade location are films that you won't really be able to see elsewhere in Buffalo. So what we do is we like picking up films that have limited distribution. So if you're from New York City or from another large city and you're used to having all of these, being on the cusp of the film world, Squeaky Wheel's your place.
And we have to give a big thanks to the Andy Warhol Foundation for that. So
yes,
thank you.
So on that note, what do we got coming up? So the first really exciting thing that's free, and if you're in town and you're looking for things to do before school starts, is Tuesday Night Flicks. It's something that we do down at Canalside. And if you haven't been at Canalside, it's really beautiful. It's been undergoing some major renovations. It has a beautiful boardwalk and a sandbox for those of you who still like to play. And there's also something called the Clinton's Dish, which you can get, beer and ice cream and burgers. So Tuesday Night Flicks is an outdoor film series that we have, and on Tuesday, August 11th, which is right around the corner, we're showing Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is part of our Wes Anderson trilogy. And for those of you unfamiliar with the film, that's one of Wes Anderson's first animation films, and it's a total classic. It's not just for kids. You can enjoy that on multiple layers.
Yeah, and who can say no to George Clooney, because he is the voice of the lead character in that film. So yeah.
And if you can't make it to the August 11th one, there's another chance to catch another Wes Anderson film. On Tuesday, September 1st, we're showing The Grand Budapest Hotel, which is also a favorite. So if you didn't get to catch that in the theaters, come join us outside. Bring your picnic blanket, bike on down, bring some snacks and whatever else that you'd want. And we're there starting at dusk, 8:30.
Yeah, and did we mention that it's free?
Yeah, it's free. Free films. Bring all your friends, bring your family. Come on down. There's plenty of space. There's about 100 Adirondack chairs down there, so sometimes we do get limited seating. So we would say bring a picnic bench, picnic blanket,
Bring
or
your bench.
your portable picnic bench. So that's like an immediate thing, but we have some really large stuff coming up. Tina, I'm going to let you handle Peep Show.
Oh, so for those of you that may not be familiar with Peep Show, it's our big biannual art party and fundraiser. And this year, thanks to the very gracious Sam Savarino and 500 Seneca, they donated the top floor penthouse of that building that they're actually in the process of renovating. And there's going to be live, work, loft spaces and businesses. Actually, Tommy Rotter, which is a new distillery, just moved in there on the ground floor. So it's happening on Saturday, August 29th, which is, I guess, right around the time that kids are going to be coming back to school and such. The main party starts at 8 o'clock and it goes till 1 in the morning. And we've got over 30 artists participating, doing installations, performances, and music. We've got... let's see, for music, we've got, I don't know if I can say this word on the air, but I'm just going to go for it. We've got DJ Pussy Pop.
That's Dana McKnight from Dreamland.
Oh, sorry about that. I guess you can't say that word, but that's her performance name. And Rufus Gibson, who is a local DJ who has a really good following. And we've got iFast, who's Adrian Bertoloni. And let's see, who else do we have?
Reverend Johnny Drama.
Oh.
That's our favorite. John Toohill works over at Panos. Does a mean DJ set.
Yeah, and it's going to be soul music. So, and then...
there'll be plenty of things for you to dance to. We have everything from, we got the electronic music covered, and then we got the soul covered, and some electronic goodness in between there.
Yeah, Logan Locking is actually, that's going to be his first night back in town from a national tour with Legion Reed. So definitely come out. Tickets in advance are $15. You can buy them on the web, or you can call us at 884-7172. Or you can email me, tina@squeaky.org, and I'll totally hook you up with a ticket. And
you can visit us on the website. I'm not sure if you just said that. It's www.squeaky.org. And for those of you unfamiliar with an art party, though, let's really get into the heart of this. Okay, so if you are new to town and you haven't been to a Peep Show before, or to an Artists and Models affair that Hall Walls Contemporary Arts Center does, this is along that same line. So could you imagine this penthouse floor filled with site-specific work? So when you walk in, it's almost like a barrage. It's a circus, in a way, of showing all of these local artists. And, we really can't tell you what to expect, but the theme is Dirty 30, so we can tell you that much. So we'll be a little bit sultry, but the Dirty 30 is really about our 30th anniversary celebration. But these are some of the best artists that are working in Western New York right now, and so you'll have a real intimate look, and some of them are interactive installations. Maybe you could talk a little bit about Brian Milbrand's performance.
Oh,
This could be shocking. This could be shocking.
Is he a teacher here?
He
Yeah.
is actually. He's an instructor in the communications department. So you might be familiar with Brian Milbrand also as the tech director. So if you've ever had to rent equipment out of the communications department, that's the guy.
I haven't met him, but I've heard of him.
Yeah, he's a really great guy. You should get to know him. So him and his wife,
Holly Johnson.
yeah, they're going to be doing this game show, and it's based on the Japanese game show. I forget the name of it, but it's the wild and crazy one where anything can happen. I
Think
don't
extreme.
very extreme. I don't think I can go into much more detail because you might bleep me out again. So, but in any case, wild and crazy. Just let your imagination just roll.
So there'll be a portion of this where you can actually sign up as a contestant in this extreme game show. So if you're one of those people who are looking, who's
you
a
get-
thrill seeker,
Do you get hurt?
you will not get hurt. Absolutely not. We are a professional organization, and we make sure that we cover all of our bases. So it will be regulated.
Yeah,
How would you sign up to be a contestant?
You got to show up.
yeah,
Just
you got to.
get a ticket, get to the show, and then walk in the room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the doors for the main party are at 8, and so if you buy a ticket at the door, it's 20, or it's 15 in advance. And actually, for students, we're going to keep the cost at 15, so even at the door for you. So and cash or credit card, we take everything pretty
Yeah.
much. So
What date did you say this was again?
August 29th.
It's a Saturday evening. And then also we have a special partnership that we're doing with Hydraulic Hearth down at Larkinville. And Harry Zemsky was kind enough to do a special.
Yeah, so if you go in there anytime during the day and you just show them your ticket, which you'll have like a receipt on your phone, you get special drink specials for you. So it's like $1 off, I think, all of their drinks, and I think $5 drafts, which is a really great deal. And
Yeah, you can really turn this into a fun evening. Can you talk about a few other of the installations that are happening to get people?
yeah. So it's, again, a really long list, but just to kind of highlight, Liz Lesner and Laura Curry are going to be doing a special interactive performance with people who we haven't even talked about, the VIP. So if you're out there and you've got a little extra money in your pocket and you're wondering, how do I want to spend this money, but you want to invest and make a difference in Buffalo, well, come to our VIP portion of the night. So that's going to be from 6 to 8 in the same space, but you're going to have access to their installation and Flat Sitters doing a special Oculus Rift.
Virtual reality.
Yeah. Just for VIP people. And so if you're a member of Squeaky or you become a member between now and the 29th, tickets are $50 and $75 for the general. And that includes a whole lot of stuff besides those special performances. You are going to have access to food that's going to be catered by Coco, which is on Main Street. And also, Lockhouse Distillery is amazing, and they've donated their product, vodka and gin, and they will be serving cocktails made by Chris at Hydraulic Hearth, the amazing mixologist who makes all the amazing drinks there. And let's see, I feel like, and Flying Bison, another amazing local business. They've been around for a while. Their beer will be serving that at the event. And if you get a VIP ticket, Lockhouse drinks and Flying Bison will be free to you, along with the delicious, scrumptious food by Coco. And so all the other artists, let's see, we've got, Courtney Grimm and Val Bello will be doing an interactive installation. We're going to have a piece by Shasti O'Leary Sudan, which I'm really excited for. She's an amazing artist. If you don't know her work, I would definitely check it out. Anna Chimay, Dreamland. If you don't know Dreamland, you should definitely go visit their space. They're an amazing new art nonprofit that's located on Franklin Street, kind of just around the corner from Squeaky Wheel, actually. They're going to be doing an interactive installation as well. And actually, students from Villa Maria, because they were one of our top sponsors, are going to be doing an installation with one of their professors, Michael Bosworth. So there's a lot to see and do. And, I would recommend coming as early as possible just so you can take it all in. And in addition to the installations, we're going to be doing an art auction, and it's going to open up at 6, and there's going to be a buy it now option. So if you see a work of art that you really like, you can just buy it on the spot and take it home with you that evening. And that, again, we've got over 30 local and regional artists that are going to be contributing to that, including the infamous Tony Conrad and Barbara Latanzi, Millie Chen, Charles Clough, Amy Greenan, let's see, David Moog, Shosti's donating a piece for that, Kyle Butler, Scott By. I mean, the list just goes on.
So for any of you budding art collectors, this is a good place to start your collection. And what's really exciting about our art auction is that 50% of the proceeds will go directly to the artists as well, and the other 50% will help Squeaky Wheel continue doing the work we do in the community. And if you're wondering what we do in the community, I could maybe give you a quick snippet outside of the 3 things that I talked about earlier. We've been working with youth down at the Buffalo Center for Arts and Technology, and they've been doing a lot of documentaries about underreported issues and organizations in the area. So recently they went down to Silo City and they did some new artworks down there. And they're working on a documentary about the Colored Musicians Club downtown. So these kids are getting trained in doing video and audio and editing, anything with post-production. And these are all teens who might not have access to this kind of programming. And what's really exciting is most of our programming is free for teens to participate in and also build their skill sets so they can get awesome jobs later on in life and get into college and do great things. So that's a little bit about Peep Show. What else should we talk about with Peep Show? Do you guys have any questions about Peep Show? Should we maybe...
You said August 29th. What was the time again?
8 o'clock to 1 a.m.
8 to 1 a.m. I remembered the 1 a.m., but I didn't remember the start of it. And where was it located?
500 Seneca Street.
500 Seneca Street.
That's down by the Larkinville.
Okay. I'm going to try to post something. Do you have a Facebook event page?
We do. You should have been invited, but...
I may have.
Yeah.
I want to post that on the Vantage Point Facebook site.
Great.
Yeah, please do.
We are also looking for volunteers. So if you are a true college student who's living penny to penny, we have opportunities for you to attend Peep Show without paying. And one of those would be becoming a volunteer. We need people to help us work at the door, make sure, nobody's jumping off the roof and doing crazy things. Just joking, that won't be happening.
I hope so. I hope not.
Put people on elevator duty. There'll be there's a lot of positions actually that we need help in. So we would really look to having some Buffalo State College students helping out with that. So if you go to our website and go under opportunities, you'll see our call for volunteers, and that comes with a free ticket. And the shift is only a few hours, so that will still give you time to experience the event. So if you're one of those people who likes to help out, we want you. Yep.
That's right around the time that everybody's coming back from wherever they live to come back for school, too.
Yeah, that would be a perfect time. A perfect opportunity also to get involved with Squeaky Wheel. And
yeah, I mean, if anyone out there is listening and looking for an internship for the fall, we are looking for some help in the office, doing some design work and marketing. You just sort of need basic skills, Photoshop, InDesign, and pretty much like all of the Adobe programs. And you get to work with Jax and I in creating like all this awesome literature that, you'll probably see around town and such. I mean, those are all designed by our interns.
What we're really looking for are people coming out of either the communications department, somebody with really strong written skills, or people coming out of the visual arts department who aim to be in the design program and need to get more experience. This is a really good thing for your resume. Squeaky Wheel is recognized nationally as an art center, and so this is something that would be really good for you and good for us. And on that note,
How about volunteers outside of Peep Show?
Oh yeah, we definitely need volunteers. We have events weekly at Squeaky Wheel, and so we need people who just can help out with events and do admissions and act as a greeter for Squeaky Wheel visitors. We also have a lab monitor position because we're open 24 hours to the week, and we have a computer lab where people can come and sign out time, and we could really use people to be the front face of Squeaky Wheel. So there's many opportunities for you. And if you go to our website, squeaky.org, www.squeaky.org, you'll see you can click on the opportunities link.
Is the marketing internship the only thing that you're looking for as far as internship-wise?
We do have art education internships too. So if you are going to school to become an educator, that would be an ideal position. That would require some assistance. That would actually, let's see, what would that require? I guess if you are interested in curriculum development and working with schools to negotiate the needs of contracts, what you would be doing is working directly with our director of education. His name is Kevin Klein, and he definitely can use another person on his team. So if you're working at Squeaky Wheel as an intern, you get a lot of hands-on skills. We're run by 4 individuals, and we have a lot of programs happening. So if you're looking for an internship that has a little bit more to offer than taking out the trash or vacuuming the floor, we're your place.
That sounds really interesting. I know that a lot of people around their senior year are looking for internships too, so.
Yeah, and the great thing about the staff at Squeaky Wheel is we're all artists. You know, like we all have our like individual like own, art practices. You know, we're all like showing or playing music, out in the community. So we're like all like really active, and we have other lives besides our quote unquote 9-to-5 job, which really isn't 9 to 5, but so I feel like people that work with us really they get to work with people who understand what it means to be a working artist, and I think that that's just really invaluable experience.
And it's a good opportunity also to build on your network. We're very tied into the community. We have a lot of community partners. So through this internship, you'd really meet a lot of different people that you might not be connecting with while you're in school. So I can't really stress the importance or the value of this internship for you. So please, if you're interested, send us your resume and a cover letter to office@squeaky.org, and we will get in touch with you. So furthermore, we got a couple more exciting things happening, if you don't mind if I indulge.
There's always something more here.
So after Peep Show, all right, so we got basically your fall calendar scheduled. So after August 29th, you go to Peep Show and you have such a great time. You're like, wow, what is the next thing I could do at Squeaky Wheel? I can't wait for the next event. We got you covered for the next 2 weeks. So on September 5th, we have a nationally touring sound artist coming into town. His name's Likens, Robert A.A. Lowe, and he is a performer who does a lot of work with synthesizers and vocal processing and things like that. So his performance will be taking place down at Silo City, which, if you have not been there, it is a must-see place of Buffalo. I can't stress that more. If you're new into town and you haven't been to Silo City, that's a place where you should definitely start.
Where is it?
Wow. I can't believe you haven't been to Silo City.
It's not like it's. I have a memory, and I don't know if I've just heard of it or if maybe I have
Awesome.
been there and I just don't know.
So Silo City's down. The street is actually on Child Street, but that's so it's down by the waterfront, and it's on the side of the Buffalo River. It's near Canal Side. It's probably like 2 miles or 1.5 miles from Canal Side, and that is a privately owned area of silos, and that's run by Rick Smith and Jim Watkins. And so earlier in the year, Art Services Initiative had a call for proposals for art events to happen at Silo City because they're so amazing and supportive of the arts. And we got one of the grants through the Buffalo River program.
We actually got 2 grants from them.
Yes, we'll talk about that one next, actually. But this is the first one. And there's a stage that the guys down at Silo City are making, and it's pretty mammoth. And not only is that mammoth, what is around you is even more gigantic. So there are these 190-foot grain elevators, and they're towering, and it's just really breathtaking. And what's really exciting about that place is they're repurposing them in a way that's really staying true to the industrial heritage of Buffalo. And so if you come to one of these events, it's your chance to really experience that and experience the unique reverb and acoustic chambers that are within these silos. So it makes it really ideal for these types of sound performances. So when Likens does his performance, he's doing a live score to selections from Hollis Frampton's Magellan Cycle, and we'll be showing selections from that through the Criterion distributor. And so these are films that are coming from the 70s, you know, from 1969 to 1979. We'll be showing some selections of those. And if you're not familiar with Hollis Frampton, you can get a little bit more familiar with him because we have an ongoing Hollis Frampton celebration this summer that's been in partnership with SEPA Gallery and Dean Brown Rout Contemporary Gallery and a few other organizations. So that's a free event down at Silo City. And that takes place at 8 p.m., and this is also one that you could bring a picnic blanket to. You're also welcome to bring your picnic bench, but I don't know how many of you really have a portable picnic bench.
I have 2, actually.
You do?
I do. My parents just gave me them to me. So.
Really? That's
Yeah.
amazing. So there's 2, so you can ask Tina if you need to borrow them. And during that night, we also have 2 local openers on the bill. And, Buffalo has a really amazing group of experimental sound artists that are working in this area. And so we have Vowels, that's Bobby Griffiths, and Legion Reed, which
Sean Lewis, sorry.
Oh, yeah, Sean Lewis, thank you. Sean Elliott Lewis. So both of those are really beautiful performances not to miss, and there'll be video involved, and so that's an exciting thing that's happening. If you need more information about it, go onto our website. I saw Likens play a few years ago at the Ann Arbor Film Festival, and it was breathtaking just to hear the sounds coming out of his mouth was amazing. So I can read you a quote, actually, that Bill Meyer from Chicago Reader had said. And I'll just read this directly because I just think it's really telling of what the performance would be like. So Lowe's finger-picked acoustic guitar sounds like he spent time pondering John Fahey's legacy, but his looped, wordless vocals are reminiscent of Meredith Monk. So those are 2 pivotal players in the sound movements here. So come check it out. If you're a sound nerd, you're gonna want to be there for this event. And he's coming up from New York, and let me tell you, this is not gonna happen again. This is a rare performance.
Yeah, especially at Silo City. There's not a place like that, like in the country or world. And it's just, yeah. And it's free. Did we mention it's free?
And so the other event that's happening the week after is completely fun. It's an urban drive-in. And you can also call this an urban bike-in. So if you're familiar with the drive-in concept, you go there, you show up with your car, you get to watch a movie. So we're doing the same thing, but we really encourage that you bike ride instead of drive down.
Eco-friendly.
Yeah, there will be parking spaces, though, for your car if you bring that. But what this is we're showing movies from noon to midnight. We'll have some outdoor activities like can jam, if you're into can jam, some hacky sacking, hula hooping, whatever. Bring it on down. It's a really large space down at Silo City, so basically this is like a 12-hour cookout, imagine it, but with a really great lineup of films. We'll have food trucks. We'll have some exciting other things happening. But this is also another one of those events that is supported through the Erie Canal Harbor Development Corporation's funds that are administered through the Art Services Initiative. And I want to thank them for allowing us to have this event. So we have this gigantic LED screen that's coming in from Indigo Productions and a huge sound system. So you'll be able to enjoy these films in broad daylight. And I hope, keep your fingers crossed, that it will be a sun-shining day that you're going to have to bring like 3 bottles of sunscreen to get through it. So to get you a little bit excited about what you can expect from this urban drive-in on September 12th is we're going to kick off the day at noon with Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
And let me tell you, that was not an easy movie to get access to. Just FYI, people. I had to make many phone calls and emails, but we secured it. So,
I mean, have you ever had brunch outside down at the silos watching Monty Python and the Holy Grail? This could be an amazing moment for you and all of you Monty Python fans, honestly.
First time in history.
Yeah.
We're making history here.
And so then next up at 2 p.m., we're doing a rescreen of our Animation Fest program. And that includes animators from around the world. We actually just showed the screening at the Albright Knox Gallery as part of their screenplay exhibition and the First Friday, the M&T First Fridays. And there were over 300 people there. And it was an amazing event. And we're showing stuff that were Academy Award nominated animations and some other ones that are from up-and-coming animators worldwide. So if you like hip animations, if you're into Adult Swim and all of that stuff, come on down. This is going to be a fun program of animated shorts that you probably won't be able to see all together in one loop anyplace else.
Yeah, and so that'll be starting at 2, and then at 3, we're screening Do the Right Thing, one of Spike Lee's earlier films that sort of put him on the map in the large spectrum. And then at 5:30, we're screening Beast of the Southern Wild. What an amazing film, just, the cinematography. I mean, it's just, with the backdrop of Silo City, like, that's just going to be an incredible film to see.
And we timed this so that it starts at 5:30 and it will end probably around 6:30 or 7. And at this point, around September 12th, the film will go through all the different variations of dusk. So by the end of the film, it should be very dark out. So we figured that would just match the tone of the film. And if you have not seen that film, please, I urge you to come see it. And I know that for those of you who have seen it, you're going to want to see it at Silo City because you know how good the film is. And what's next? I mean, and then we were thinking, like, how do we one up Beasts of the Southern Wild to dusk happening? And
well, you guessed it, Mad Max Fury Road. So the new version of Mad Max will be screening at 7. Again, we really can't emphasize like how well this is going to be, screened in terms of like just the setting of Silo City. Yeah, I mean, all of that destruction and
post-apocalyptic type of desolation in a way. I mean,
action.
It's just it's going to be a beautiful matchup for us. So I think that'll be an experience on its own. And I think the energy that will be kind of accumulating at that point will be really strong. So I don't know, bring your Red Bull and come watch Fury Road, We'll have food trucks out too. So if you get hungry and you're like, man, I don't know what film to pick, you could stay there all day and just eat and walk around and then, keep watching films all day. But it doesn't end at Mad Max Fury Road. Because next, we're going to close out the evening with
Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
So that's party time. So
bring your dancing shoes.
Yeah. Yep.
Was there a lot of people that came together to create all these events?
No, you're looking at half the team right here.
Yeah.
Oh. We're just very ambitious, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We're all about having fun and making sure that we have a lot of fun opportunities for people to engage in our programming, because we do realize education programs are for a certain group of people who are interested in learning in the media arts, but then there's a whole other group of people that we want to make sure that we reach through these other events where we can really have people engaging with media arts on different levels. And so this is, anything from popular films to those really obscure art films. And we have a few of those lined up too in our microcinema. Once after this urban drive-in, that's when we'll settle down and get back to our regular weekly programming in the cinema. So,
But we're not really settling.
Yeah, we're never settled.
No. So, and so we'll be putting out a calendar that'll come out later this month. So I'll be sure to drop some off here at Buff State, and all the info is on our website too. It will be there for our fall programming that'll run from September to December. So,
yeah. On that side note, on another event that's not happening through Squeaky Wheel, but I just think I would like to boost that while we're talking about Silo City. Torn Space Theater is an organization that does site-specific theater. And if you're in town right now and you haven't heard about this, you got to go on their website, Torn Space Theater. So they are doing a site-specific installation at Silo City that will go up one of the grain silos and then back down. So in each of the rooms on the way, they have different pieces of theater that are snapshots, right? So the theme this time, or the title of their show, is called They Kill Things. Think about that. They kill things. So in each room, it's thematic to killing things. So if you're interested in that, not killing things, but thinking about this, what is death and what is killing things, and I think that this performance will give you a lot of different perspectives on what it is to kill things. But this is happening August 13th through the 22nd, and it will be. I think tickets are from 7 to 9:30 p.m. and they're really affordable. And it honestly is one of the unique pieces. This is one of the most unique theater troupes that's in Buffalo right now. It's a site-specific spectacle, and that means every room is transformed into something different. And this is happening inside of these industrial artifacts, and so the pairing between really dramatic lighting and acting and the path that you follow just to go through this performance is I don't really know what word I would say. It's incredibly moving. I saw one of their theater pieces last year, and it really is one of the things that has resonated with me visually for a long time. So I really would recommend going to that. So it's Torn Space Theater. They Kill Things, and I believe that they have tickets on the weekend only, and they usually tend to sell out. So I would check it out and get a ticket as soon as possible. So if you're in town right now looking for something to do, that's like a must not miss event outside of our Squeaky Wheel events, but it's there. And Brian Milbrand also, this is another person. He's a busy guy, He's part of They Kill Things, and he'll have a room that's an audio-visual room that's part of this. And I've been working with my partner, Kyle Marler, on a documentary about this film and the making. And so I've been able to go up and down the path a few times. And some of the things that they have in store, I don't want to say what it is, but it's unbelievable. It's really something that you'll never experience. I can safely say you will never experience these sequence of events in a theater performance. So even if you hate theater, that's even the more reason for you to go see this, because this is built for it is a very avant-garde theater experience. So please check it out.
Yeah, and tickets start at $20, and then they have special VIP tickets for $50. But all tickets are limited, so you can just go on their website and get one today, right now, at this very moment, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have an extra $100 right now, you could just buy a couple Peep Show tickets, buy a Torn Space Theater ticket, and and actually with the Urban Drive-In, we haven't quite announced this yet, but I was just talking to the guy who does the Explore Buffalo tours, and so they do these great walking tours of Silo City, and it looks like there's a possibility that we're going to be able to line up one of those tours and have that end right when Monty Python is starting. So this could be a really good experience for you guys to see what Buffalo has to offer.
Sounds like you spend the whole day doing things in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the pedal thing that you can do in Buffalo?
Oh, the pedal tours.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
you can drink and pedal your way around from different bars.
Have you tried it?
No.
Nope.
Is it new? Because I've heard of
It's
a
fairly
lot.
new.
Like last year, I want to say maybe they
Yeah.
started it. They do that all up until there's snow on the ground.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember when I first moved to Buffalo, I saw them out my window in the middle of November, and there might have even been snow on the ground, and I was like, wow, these people are dedicated.
Yeah.
I've heard about them a lot the last couple weeks, and I'm like, what, did this just come out? Why is everyone talking about this?
Yeah, those seem like a lot of fun. But, I also recommend just getting on your bike and just heading down to the water. Just try that, because I think you'll come across stuff that you weren't really expecting. You might see some new storefronts. And I know what it's like living on a campus, too. If for those of you who live on campus, it's hard to remove yourself from this 2-mile radius, but there's so much going on downtown. Squeaky Wheel's located in the theater district, and that's where there's a concentration of about 20 different organizations that all have to do with theater and arts, and what else? What else is exciting down there that I'm missing? Food. The food down there is really blossoming.
Mhm.
Big Ditch just opened up a brewery. There's Mohawk Place, and they have a lot of shows down there.
I love really good shows.
The
Some of the best
12.
shows for small venues is Mohawk Place. So
Yep. The Waiting Room, Asbury Hall, which is next to Hall Walls, it's within Hall Walls Contemporary Arts Center. Think about downtown. Consider downtown as a destination for your weekend.
So for a lot of the people that are living in some of the dorms, or some of the children or students that are coming back for school, how would they get to some of the events that you have going on the next couple of weeks from the dorms here?
well, there's buses that go, around Buffalo. I don't personally take the bus. I walk or ride my bike or drive. But it's literally if they do have a car, it's literally 10 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really accessible. There is the underground, above ground subway that goes down Main Street. So if they just, walked over 6 blocks, they could hop on that and take that downtown. And that's super affordable. They can get a cab. I've never been to a city where cabs are so cheap. That's another way that they can get down there, or carpool, or take a half hour and walk. It's really not that far, and it's a beautiful walk. There's so many gorgeous buildings and really wonderful businesses. It's amazing. Like Buffalo, it's all about the family or the small run business in Buffalo. And there's so much outside of the campus. They literally just have to walk a block. So really encourage that.
And if you're living in Buffalo and you don't have a bike at this point, let me tell you about Go Bike Buffalo, because that is a great initiative. This is an organization, if you look it up, there are certain hours where you can go in and work on a bike and start putting in hours down there and volunteering. And then you can put those credits towards buying a bike at Go Bike, and they can set you up with that stuff. So if you don't have a bike, I strongly suggest getting it, because it really is only like a 15-minute bike ride downtown. I also love biking, and I think that there has been a huge initiative, thanks to Justin Booth of Go Bike, in making bike paths more accessible. So there are paths that go directly downtown, and really take advantage of that before the winter comes along.
Isn't there also, what's the mustache cars?
What?
Oh,
I've never seen them. What is a mustache car?
Oh.
Please.
Oh, I don't think that they don't have that here.
I was walking somewhere at some point, and there was a mustache car in this parking lot.
Does it
Really?
actually have
A
a
pink
mustache
one?
on it?
The pink one?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
What is a mustache? Please tell us.
I moved here from San Francisco, and so we had these other alternative cabs that you can take, where you get in a car with just an everyday person and an everyday vehicle, and they take you where you want to go, and it's cheaper than cabs. I haven't seen that here. I'm forgetting what the name of the service is, but that's crazy.
Did
if
they
it's
call
here.
it a mustache car so you can get a? But that's not really. Is that an off-color reference?
It's really no. That's not what it's called. There's a.
Well, this specific one, maybe I had just seen one that somebody put a random mustache on their car, but that reminded me.
Oh, Lyft.
Lyft.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is Lyft moving into Buffalo, really?
There's also Uber,
Mhm.
right? Is that around here?
I don't think Uber's here.
Oh, okay, yeah. Maybe Lyft has been around then I thought it was the opposite. But, yeah, then Lyft is here and Uber's not, then.
No,
Yeah.
technically, according to their website, they are not in Buffalo. They are only in New York City.
Look up Uber then and see if they get. Because I know that they do have one of the two here.
Oh, Uber Buffalo. Yeah, I guess Uber's here. So it's like a private driver service. So you get an app on your phone, and then depending on it'll show you where the closest car is and how long it's taking them to get there, and it even has a picture of the person that's picking you up, and a picture of their car. And I used it all the time in San Francisco, actually, because their public transit system sucks. I can say the word suck on.
Yes, I
Okay,
think
good.
so.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, no, that would be amazing if they had it here, because I know that, Jax and I both own a car, and it's expensive, car payments, insurance. There's a lot of crazy drivers out there. But, yeah. So Uber is in Buffalo. So that would be a great service for college kids, because, you you and your friends can get one of those and go wherever you want in the city. So,
I've always wanted to try it, but I was always like, what if you get a psycho?
yeah,
I've
they
done
have
it
to
a
go
few
through
times. I've done it
screenings.
a lot in New York, and I feel like it's been great every time. I've been really impressed, and the people are super personable, and it's nice to learn about what they do outside of Uber, because some of them it's just an extra thing that they do on top of their job when they're at home. So it's actually been more entertaining than your traditional cab.
I can imagine. It's got to be like that cab TV show, kind of like that, except you don't win money.
You don't win money. No, but you are saving money. So,
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there anything else that
Well, I have a question for both of you. When was the first time that you can remember that you wanted to do something professional for your actual professional life in art?
oh. Well, I remember I was in undergrad, actually. I got my BFA in painting and drawing, and I remember I made a decision that I didn't want to be a commercial artist. Like I didn't want to have to rely on galleries and such. And I had a friend who graduated a year before me who also got her BFA. And she did this amazing program called AmeriCorps Vista, which is still around. And that's a really wonderful alternative, I guess, employment in a sense. So if you're graduating and you're trying to find a job and work for a nonprofit, it's a really great experience. And she had gotten a job in Providence working at an art space. And so I applied and I got a job, and I was the assistant development director for an organization called AS220. And yeah, I knew I wanted to do more with my degree and with my profession. And it was a really great choice. And that was, I don't want to give away my age, but that was over a decade ago, and I've been working for art nonprofits since then. So,
I guess for me, I had always really been part of the underground basement show circuit. I went as a kid, and I just really loved that concept and had participated in putting on shows. So I think that was like an early experience, just running shows all the time and connecting with artists and realizing, hey, there are people who are touring nationwide, and it's a big network. And if you're part of that, then you're kind of like you're enabling this interstate highway to happen through every city of artists. And I love empowering people with the resources that they need to get there. So when I first moved to Buffalo, the storefront rent was super cheap, so I had a DIY space with our coworker Mark Longaluco. He's the tech director at Squeaky Wheel. We ran a place called Art Brutal for a while, and we had a lot of touring bands come through there and exhibitions and things like that. And at that point, I just really loved that, and Squeaky Wheel was expanding, so I was lucky enough to bop onto that team when I had just gotten out of college and have been doing it ever since. And I think I really couldn't recommend it more. And there's so much that you can do on a shoestring budget for people to help get them to the next level of their arts career too. I mean, I think that feels really good to be able to take chances on people and help elevate them in their work, because there's so many things that don't rise up into the mainstream, and it's easy to forget that if you're always listening to mainstream radio and watching things that are on your traditional TV networks. So I think, when Tina and I in the 90s, as young teenagers at that point, that was a point where people were really about, anti-radio, and, when everything was kind of, you have all this underground stuff happening. And I think being into the subversive arts was a large part of, it was a large part of my life. So making sure that that's always, that always has a space. I like making sure that people have a platform to continue doing that kind of activity. I think that was a long answer, but
no, I liked it. I think my favorite thing about artists is I find artists can dream, and they can see the world out on the outside of the box. And I'm a dreamer myself. My head is always in the clouds, and it's hard for me because it was only recently when I started talking to my sister, realizing that not everybody does that, and she physically can't get her head to dream, and that drives me crazy. So when I get around artists and they have these plans and they have this passion and drive, I'm I just love that.
Mm-hmm. And there's always people that can help you. I think it's just making sure you find the right mentors. I had a really great one. That was Dorothea Bramer, who was the previous executive director of Squeaky Wheel. These people who can really help drive yourself beyond your dreams too is really exciting. So I think, that need of that, when you're dreaming and you have other people help you achieve your dreams, then it really wants you to do that for other people.
Yes, definitely. Combined with the networking, it's almost like there's always somebody that can just put your puzzle pieces together.
Mm-hmm. There's a fortune cookie saying that I got twice, and it's optimism is a force multiplier, and I just love that.
I save a lot of my fortune cookies. Actually, all of them.
Yeah, sometimes they have good things to say.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm also teaching coming up in another week at Buffalo State College. So if anybody is interested in taking an intro to digital media class, we've now opened that course up beyond fine arts, people participating in fine arts. So if you're a communications major or humanities, you can actually sign up for that course now. So this course that we designed is for people who haven't really had experience making their own sound art or video art or design works. And you'll learn a lot about interdisciplinary media artworks. So, in previous years, we've worked with more like painters and photographers. So what's really exciting by the end of the class is that they are able to make their own sounds and videos and really understand the root of experimental media.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're interested in that, that's a good segue. It's a 3-credit class, I believe, and it's going to be happening on Mondays and Wednesdays. So check it out, and it's not too late to sign up. The class is growing, and it's going to be a great class. So you'll have an array of projects that we do. They're all hands-on, and really fun stuff.
Is there a prerequisite?
I don't believe that there is right now. I think we just dropped that.
Is it what's the 3-letter, like, is it a comm class or?
I believe it's FAR189.
I'm definitely gonna look that up.
Yeah,
do you
check
have to
that
have,
out.
Do you have to like I don't have a lot of. I've just done like random production stuff. Like I just did a what is it? A class. I did visual communication. That was one of my favorites.
Nice. Yeah. This one we're trying to build into the foundations, the intellectual foundations core. So next year, students will be able to take that and have it apply towards their intellectual foundations credits instead of being an elective.
Oh.
So
Do
yeah.
you know what it would apply towards?
No. I think it's difficult because I'm an adjunct professor, so I'm usually wrapped around squeaky wheel stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm not the best person to ask about those technical questions.
But your advisor would be.
Yeah. Yep. Talk to your advisor. If you know Dr. Ogle in the fine arts department, talk to him. Or you can talk to Meg Knowles. She's knowledgeable about this class at this point.
I love her.
Yeah, we've been working with people in the different departments to kind of have this class have a wider reach. So,
And speaking of Meg Knowles, she's actually our volunteer coordinator for Peep Show. So if you're out there and you're a student, talk to Meg about volunteering because we we need more volunteers for like the later shift at the event. So
That's so exciting. Okay, well, we're coming up on 4:00 here in a couple minutes. We have to switch for some commercials. I want to thank both of you, Jax and Tina, for coming in.
thank you.
yeah, thank you. It's
Please
always a
let-
pleasure.
Definitely. Please let me know if you ever have anything else coming up and you wanted to come on again.
Sounds great. We'll do that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
WBNY. Now you can hear us from farther away.
Well, Lottie frickin' da!
Getting farther away from the center all the time. We're Buffalo's original alternative WBNY.